Hey y'all, this is 680's music reporter Rudy Blair. You know, if you remember back in the day, and I'm not talking about music right now, I'm talking about movies. Rebel Without a Cause and James Dean. And one of the reasons why James Dean became such a huge star was the intensity that he had in that movie. Really representing what a young person was going through, whether he was happy, whether he was angry, whether he was upset. I mean, that intensity was there. When you talk about a group, Fall Out Boy, really, to me, that movie kind of represents what they've been all about for the last 10 years. Now, there was a point in time where we thought Fall Out Boy wasn't going to be around. In fact, they took a 5-year hiatus. But as we speak today, the band is here in Toronto. They're talking about their #1 album, Save Rock and Roll, and they're going to be performing at Sound Academy. And I get a chance to talk to them about how it all came back together. Light it up, folks. So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up, I'm on fire. So light 'em up. I want to get to the truth right now. What was going on during those 5 years? Were you guys thinking about breaking up? Was there, I don't know, tension going on with the band? What exactly was happening?
Well, I think when you tour about 8 years straight without a break, tension is going to just flare up no matter what. But it wasn't a breakup. I think a lot of bands have taken the word hiatus and turned it into sort of a 20-year hiatus.
We lost that word now. The word
Yeah.
we use the word how you're supposed to mean it, but it doesn't mean that anymore, I guess.
Yeah. So no, I mean we just use that time just to like spend time with their families, do other bands and projects, and just kind of use that time to grow.
Wow. And that time to grow, during that time, you had yourself, sir, solo album.
Yeah, which was a very cool experience. I think we all, and Joe and Andy had a band called The Damn Things, and we all went out and tried different kinds of music and different experiences. And I think bringing that back to the band, I think we're a much stronger band now.
Who decided? Who made the first move on, guys, we got to get back together after 5 years?
I think it was Patrick and Pete had been doing a little writing together, and I think one song specifically, out of maybe a batch of songs that wasn't working, one seemed to work, and sparked the idea of maybe we should bring the song to the band, talk to everybody about maybe writing some more songs, et cetera, and it kind of went from there.
Yeah, because we're always writing. We write constantly. Even during the hiatus, we were writing, and just because you're writing doesn't mean it's good. And after a certain point, yeah, Pete called me up one day and he goes, "This is really good. What do you want to do with this?" And that kind of is where we started, I guess.
But were you ever worried about the landscape changing? 5 years, different artists, new groups, different sound going on.
I mean, absolutely. We didn't think people would care. That's kind of not entirely why we did it in secret, but I mean, we did it in secret so we at least could have control over whether or not we decide to release it, because we could have made a bad record and then like if everyone knew, we'd have to put it out anyway. And, there's a lot of so we did it in secret so we could kind of have like final veto power on it. And still, even then, you never know. Like we were very, very floored that people actually cared when we dropped My Songs That You Did in the Dark. And yeah, I mean, we were super lucky that people actually still give a darn about the band.
Save Rock and Roll, though, interesting name for an album, my friend. Especially, do we call it a comeback album? LL Cool J.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. The whole comeback thing, I mean, go figure. That it's kind of like Joe was saying. You can't. We've been humbled, and you can't expect any of this stuff. But yeah, Save Rock and Roll. I think rock music as a concept has become a little bit of a plan. People have an idea in their head of what that is, and there's what jacket that guy's gonna wear, what motorcycle he's gonna ride, what guitar he's gonna play, what cigarettes he smokes, and the character, the whole thing, and that it basically was created in 1975 and that's it. And it's like, I think that's a little unreasonable, a little bit unfair when you look at the history of rock and roll. I mean, you have everything from, in the first place, it starts out from blues and boogie woogie, and there's piano, and there's banjos really early on. There's crazy different iterations.
Yeah.
In the 70s, you look at the punk rock scene, and really, we in retrospect now ascribe new wave to things like Talking Heads and Blondie and Devo and Television,
yeah.
but those were all in the punk scene. That was alone, right? Which is very definitely a rock and roll idiom or whatever. So I think where's the excitement and the surprise and the personality and where did that go? And I think that's the thing that needs saving.
When rock and roll stops being future and becomes retro, then it's kind of over. You know what I mean? Then it's dead.
But the intensity never died with you guys in this album. And right off from the first single, man, and the video, the intensity remained. I mean, that cool thing for you guys to keep that going for yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we may not be like the rock and roll band to anybody, but I mean, like we're saying, we want to just like inspire the idea of taking the energy and the idea of rock music and not having to confine it to like a square box, and being able to kind of keep pushing it forward and adding new elements, just like rhythm, just like blues and jazz got together and made the bastard child of rock and roll, back in the day. So,
Are you guys ready as we speak? You guys are doing the show at Sound Academy, sold out. You guys ready for this thing, man?
Oh yeah, man, I'm so excited about it. It's been a while, and I was actually thinking about it. It's been years since we've been here. I mean, this is our first time back since the hiatus, so I can't wait.
No, before we wrap this up, I read something up that you guys are doing. It's some kind of chronicle?
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
So we're making a video for every song on the record, and it's an entire narrative called the Youngblood Chronicles. And we've filmed more than half of it, but we're still doing some editing. But we've released 3 videos, right? 3? Yes?
Yeah. So far 3 have come out, and there's a storyline to the whole thing. It's kind of crazy filming it. It's a little bit like, this is the most. Feels a little bit like being an action hero or something. Like you have to do some stuff. We're not at all, but on a small scale, like you get a little bit beat up in it. So
we get our buns smacked a little bit. You know what I mean? We get beat up. I mean, that's kind of like sort of been the theme so far, as we get more and more beat up. So then, the more we film this, the harder the shoots become. Physically, we actually kind of get hurt a little bit, like for real, and fake hurt. But yeah, so there will be 11 videos to mirror the 11 songs on the record, spanning an entire story.
And I think we might, if everything works out, we're going to try and edit it all together and have like a little movie.
All right, last question. So this is it. No more hiatus. Fall Out Boy is back.
Unless we need a hiatus to make another good record.
Yeah.
We'll be good. Yeah, we'll be all right. We're back.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.